completely forgot to set up my mic. We are live, but audio is not correct yet. Okay, give me 1 second. Forgot to do this. I did everything except this. Mic check. Well, I'm waiting for this to be detected on the computer. Come on. Why does this DJI mic always take forever? Oh, okay, we're good now. We're good. All right. Yo Busy says, oh man, time zones. This guy lives on the total opposite side, SMH. Can't even go to Europe and wake up to see these. I'm curious what time zone people think I'm from. I feel like I'm pretty American, or at least North American. So maybe people might confuse me for a Canadian, but I don't know. Like I don't feel like in my own content or anything I've ever done, I've given off that I'm from anywhere except from North America. But unfortunately, Yo Busy, yeah, if you're living on the other side of the world, it is not the ideal time to watch a stream right now. What up, Heavy Metal Tech? What up, what up, what up? What up, Craig Lilly? As well as Kale. Oh, who else we got? I am from Seattle. That is correct, Caden. Seattle, Washington. Greater Seattle area. Not directly Seattle, the city itself, but like within 20 minutes of it. What up, Stang? How you doing? Hope you and the fam doing good. What up? Reluctant Hero says, what? How the heck did the 5070 climb the charts during February? Yeah, I'm kind of confused about that too. So I kind of want to take a look into it more. People have given theories, but even then it didn't make sense to me. So we'll look into that. And then we will, of course, do some more Bazzite stuff. I don't know. So I did install the newest Resident Evil. I don't know if it requires any like hardware ray tracing or anything specific like that, so we'll see if it ends up playing, but we can mess around with Bazzite a little bit more today. What up, Greyman Media? So who's glad they bought their new builds before 2026? Yeah, anyone who... I mean, some of the prices, except for RAM, which if you have a Micro Center nearby is not too bad. But also secondhand market. I've noticed people are selling RAM for reasonable prices in at least my secondhand market. And pre-built SIs, system integrators, I still see them selling builds for pretty decent prices considering, you know, RAM and SSD prices have gone up. I've seen system integrators not really increase their prices at, you know, maybe because they have left inventory that they're still working through before they screw people over. So I feel like there's still a window right now to get like a decent build to at least hold you over if you still need one. We got Ken in the house. What up, Ken? Woof. What up, Magnus? Hello, hello. Is it 5? Yes, it is 5 p.m. here. Yep, 5 p.m. Pacific time because I'm on. We're about to have daylight savings. Okay, when daylight savings happen, we still keep the streams at 5. So that means for anyone not in the US, or I guess anywhere that doesn't observe daylight savings, it will be an hour shift to what you're used to. But we will keep it 5 p.m. Still. What up, Pedro? Sup, Ian. I know you get this. You probably get this. I do get it every day. But when is the next? So the next LAN party video, I've started working on it. I'm aiming for next weekend. If I can get the pre-LAN video done by this week, I'll release it this Friday, and then it'll be a week gap until I release the full one. Or I don't know if people would prefer that, or just even if I finish the pre-LAN video, just release it next Wednesday like I normally do, and then release the LAN. Like, I don't know if people want to wait a week between pre-LAN and full LAN video, but yeah. I'm pretty sure I can get the pre-LAN video done by this weekend. So whether or not I release it this weekend or Wednesday, but next weekend is my aim to get the full LAN video out. Thought you were from Updog. Nope. I wish I was from Updog. That'd be awesome. Yo, I'm so excited for Saturday night UFC. Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. Oh, those are some... I recognize those names. Is it... I mean, who's the favorite? Shouldn't it be Oliveira? Max is kind of seems like he's on his way out, isn't he? Let me see. I don't watch or follow UFC. I don't know why I'm not as interested in it compared to boxing. But, yeah, I've never... How old is he? He's only 1991? So he's like 35-ish, 35, 36. My goodness. I feel like the UFC can put age on people. Because I thought he was older. China New Year does weird things to the survey. That's what people were saying on the Steam hardware survey. But to me, it's like the explanation. We'll get into it later, but the explanation doesn't make sense to me for that card specifically because I feel like there's other more affordable cards that should have jumped it. But we'll take a look at the trends. We'll look at Internet Time Machine and other things like that. But yeah, what do you mean, Ayo? First live you're able to catch. What's up? Frame rate X. Can I post a link to help those who aren't aware of the Nvidia hotfix drivers? So I was seeing there was problems with a lot of content creators were making videos about this. Let's take a look. Nvidia hotfix drivers. This one right here. This hotfix driver display. I can post it here for anyone who needs it. You can't post links, unfortunately, in the chat, and if you have a different link than this, then you can go to the Discord server and post it in the stream submissions there. We have a stream submissions thing where people can post links, and I can pull it up. Otherwise, it's blocked by YouTube. I know my wife is happy when I made her an AM5 early 2025. I'm still on AM4, but I am more than happy. Yeah, I mean, if you enjoy playing the game, if it runs the games you want to play, and you're not a snob about FPS or settings, graphic settings and resolution and stuff, and playing the game is your main priority, AM4 systems still serve a lot of people perfectly fine. I could easily be on an AM4 system right now. I actually have... Maybe I should try to trade for a better graphics card. I have a 5800X3D and 5700X3D, both of which I got before their prices went crazy recently because of the RAM and memory shortage, which caused a lot of people not to want to upgrade to DDR5 type platforms. So they wanted to stay on AM4 and max out whatever socket they already had. So then the prices of the high-end X3D chips skyrocketed. Like, I spent $140 on my 5700 X3D. They're going for like 300 plus now, and I think they're actually selling for that much on eBay. I feel like I could trade both those chips in for a 9070 XT. But I do want to keep at least one of them for my AM4 benchmarking stuff, because I still do that. What GPU do you think pairs well with the i5-11400F? 5060, 5060 Ti, 9060 XT, 6800 XT, tons of... I mean, I think GPUs $400 or less would pair decently well with the 11400F. I'm going to your Discord now. Okay. Got the Radeon Hellhound 9060 before November and a 4TB NVMe. Yeah, for 186 in late October. Imagine how much the NVMe is now. 4 terabytes? They're going for like $500 now. It's kind of crazy. Why I only update my drivers now if necessary, especially considering a lot of the issues were with Requiem. Yeah, I don't update my drivers as soon as one comes out. I don't, like, are people just constantly watching their Nvidia app and being like, oh, an update's out, let me do it. I update it when there's like a, I guess, a major milestone usually. And you know, you'll catch that in the news cycle or like content create like Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unbox or someone covers it, Daniel Owen. But otherwise, yeah, I don't update it all too often. I think so. I updated mine, or what version am I on right now? Let me see. Nvidia app. So for the 4070 Super I'm on, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there's a driver update ready for me March 2nd. I do not have that. Which one do I have? Where can you see what driver version you're on in this thing? About. Okay. Nope, that's not in the about section. System. Here we go. It's not on here either. What the heck? Oh, 591. So I have the January 5th, 2026 game ready driver. So yeah, I'm not gonna upgrade mine until I'm doing something where it's like, this seems like a driver related issue, and I'll do it then. What's up, Solo J? I use the driver I already had at release and have no issues. Wait, what I already had at release? Release when? Is this like a older card you have, or how old is the driver? What is the date on it is the question. So I'm running on 2-month-old drivers right now. Also, remember when AMD was known for all the bad drivers? LMAO. Even dude, so I've been using like all of last year, I feel like people complain a lot about Nvidia drivers, and I was using I was using the 4070 Super like the second half of the year. But even then, I remember seeing people complain about it. I never had any driver issues with an Nvidia card. So I don't know if it's mainly due to like the newer games coming out and they have issues at first for the day one game ready drivers. Maybe it's, yeah, I don't play day one games. So maybe that might be one of the causes of that. But yeah, I still get comments about AMD having bad drivers, especially in those interview shorts that I do where I ask people if they have an Nvidia or AMD card. People still are spouting the nonsense of AMD has bad drivers. What are you guys' thoughts on 13th, 14th gen Intel running on DDR4? I think it's fine. To me, when I look at 13th and 14th gen Intel, I think of them as just like a little bit better 12th gen Intel, which I was running up until recently, 12th gen Intel on DDR4. So it's the same socket and platform. You can use it on the same motherboard after a BIOS update. I think it's fine. RAM, like DDR5 versus 4 can make a difference, but I think your graphics card is going to make the biggest difference in your gaming performance, followed by CPU. I have a buddy with multiple 5800 X3Ds and he's willing to sell me for $350, but I don't need it. Yeah, I don't remember what 5800 X3Ds went for. Or, I don't even remember how much they went for when 5700 XRDs came out at around 150. Like, you would think because they're so close to performance, the 5800 XRD value would have dropped, but I don't ever remember seeing it go for that little. You posted in the tech support. Okay, let's see. Oh, tech support. Tech support. Okay. Frame rate X. This is for anyone who needs to be aware. Oh, whoops, browser scene of the Nvidia video and download link here. Are you plugging your own stuff? Frame rate X on the channel here. I mean, if people want to watch a whole video about it, I guess they can, but I think the Reddit link, I'm curious if it's the same information. I'll post this here as well for if people want the video form versus the what's it called, the Reddit link. What GPU should I take for an all-white build? 5070 Ti Aero or Eagle RTX 5070 Ti Eagle? Only a $40 difference? I mean, the Aero is the higher end card, right? I'm pretty sure it is. And then between these two, and you said 40. I'm guessing the Aero is more expensive, so it's got the silver shroud. This is on like a $750 to $800 card, so that's what, 5% of the cost. Do I think there's gonna be a 5% performance difference between these two cards? Not really. I think the cooler on the Eagle will be plenty sufficient. Dude, is there better pictures of this? Because it looks like the Eagle front facing is actually a silver. I don't know. I would say the price difference isn't that much over $800. Like $40 when you're spending on something $800 is not that much. It's not that big of a difference. I would say go for the one that you like aesthetically. Oh, this Aero one actually has a big silver backplate. I would say go for the one that you aesthetically like the most. Oh, is this the Eagle? They both have the same silver backplate. Ugh, so they're not really like full white cards. I mean, I haven't looked at the reviews of these, but if there was a performance difference, I would imagine it being around the 5%. So performance per dollar, both of these cards are gonna be roughly the same. Which one would I pick? I'd probably get the cheaper one, honestly. It's because that's me. I feel like most people in the market for an $800 card, another $40 isn't gonna be much. But for me, I'm cheap. I'd rather spend that $40 on like groceries or something. So they're both like white anyways. Stang says, "What's up, Nob? I scored a good MSI Z690 Mag Tomahawk Wi-Fi DDR4 and i9. $180 for those? That's crazy. Because that motherboard alone is worth like roughly $100, and you got a 12900K. Yeah, that's a crazy deal. What platform did you pick that up on, Stang? We talking about like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp? Do you update BIOS when you build a new PC? Yep, I do. Whenever I build a new PC, I always grab the latest BIOS at that time, and then I usually don't update BIOS after that unless a major thing is found, you know, like that microcode update before that was killing Intel chips, stuff like that. But when I build, I will grab the latest BIOS, and then after that, I don't touch it for a long time. Even when there is like, it's like for AMD systems, the AGISA updates and stuff for more RAM stability and compatibility. It's like, if my system is not having problems, then I'm just not going to touch it. I'd rather not, you know, potentially break something that's not that isn't already broken. or problematic. You're using it for a Proxmox server? A 12900K? That seems very overkill. I feel like that could be used for something a lot more, and then use like lower end hardware for something like that. Unless Proxmox can fully utilize that much. I mean, I guess maybe you can. I feel like most people wouldn't though. I am good with Nvidia and AMD drivers as I have both. I can't stand ASRock BIOS. As I have a ASRock motherboard right now, and the BIOS it's been glitchy for your B850. So I'm on the Z890M Riptide board, and I think ASRock motherboards, especially with the killing of the AM5 chips, right? Recently in the tech news cycle, I think they've been getting a bad rep, but I've never had a problem with ASRock. I've used many ASRock boards over the years. I found that they've been pretty good. I used ASRock back when, I feel like we're talking about well over a decade ago, when they weren't as popular of a brand, but they were definitely pretty cost effective. And I used to use them all the time when building for friends and family. And this was like also around the time when I didn't know much about PCs at all, aside from finding compatible parts. But I don't know, for me specifically, I've never had a problem, or I've never looked at ASRock as like an inferior brand or anything like that. Do you think I should update my BIOS on my new PC build? So far it's been running completely normal. It depends on what you have. If you have like a 13th, 14th gen Intel build, then I would check to see if you have at least a BIOS update from like around last summer. You would have to check on the website for the motherboard and model that you have. But beyond that, I mean, just because it's running normal now doesn't mean there won't be problems later on, specifically with the 13th and 14th gen Intel chips. For anything else, I wouldn't be too concerned about it, because I mean, you could say you should always update to the newest one. Actually, no, I take that back. If there was a fix in a BIOS update that will save your chip from killing itself, it would make like headlines on all the tech news outlets, and you would see a ton of YouTubers covering it and stuff like that. So, and that's what happened with the Intel 13th and 14th gen chips, and the respective motherboards. So I don't know what platform you're on, but if it's working fine, I wouldn't touch it. You got them on OfferUp? Dang, that's a crazy steal. Crazy steal. Arrow looks thicker, probably stays more silent. Let's see how many. So if we look at it, it is a 3-slotter with a little bit, at least, of the shroud sticking out of it right here. And then the Gigabyte's a 2-slotter. I don't know if let's see. Was like a 200, so it's a 300 watt card. I feel like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's actually noticeably thicker. But I don't think that, I'm thinking more of this is a little overkill. I think this would be just fine, but you are right. You can get lower temperatures at lower fan speeds, just because of how physics works with how much material you have in the heatsink here. PNW, oh, not PNW, that's Pacific Northwest. PNY 5070 for the win. I love my 5070, got an MSRP a few months ago. If prices come down by next year, back to MSRP, I'll sell the 5070 and get a TI model, just pay the difference. Yeah. $40 worth of eggs might net you 200 eggs. Now, let's see. How much do we buy eggs for at Costco? We buy it by the 5 dozens at a time. So we buy 60 eggs at a time in the stacked trays. I don't remember how much we spent on it. For us, it's like we just eat eggs. We eat a lot of eggs. It doesn't matter the price, we will still eat eggs. Even when eggs were expensive. Okay, that's when we did care about the price, and we went to shop at places that had the lowest priced eggs. But we still got eggs during the egg shortages. But now the eggs are back to normal pricing. I don't even look at the price. But I'm pretty sure Costco has the best deal for eggs. 40 bucks? I don't know if it'll net 200 eggs. I feel like we spent around 13 bucks for 5 dozen. That sound about right? So per dozen, 5. Yeah, that works out to like 2 to 3 bucks a dozen. So I don't think we'll get 200 eggs. Should I get rid of AMD adrenaline software? I hear it's buggy. Nah, I've never found it to be buggy. I like it. I like it, the adrenaline software. Yeah, I was wondering if you were planning on running virtual machines, because then the extra cores would be very helpful. Everyone, remember to like the stream. I think people often forget, and I never remind. But thank you, Paddle South, for pointing that out. What's your thoughts on running PCIe cords that have pigtails versus individual cords? Pigtails are fine if your power supply doesn't suck. There's a very, very popular, let's see if I can find it. I've had this before I got banned on Reddit. I used to show this all the time. PCIe cable. This is a good reference. Where's the Johnny Guru? Here we go. Should I use PCIe pigtails? So this is, if you guys don't know, Jean Giraud is Johnny Guru, who used to be the top known guy for power supply reviews. Pigtail, but he now works in like the R&D lab at Corsair and stuff like that. Should I use PCIe pigtails in my graphics cards? This is, I will link this, but basically I use pigtails all the time. Anyone who tells you just a blanketing statement, do not use pigtails, they're just repeating like the old, you know, like words of wisdom. Like, of course it is safer if you don't know about your power supply to just use individual cables and don't use pigtails. But I think there's probably like more power supplies that can safely support the use of pigtails than not nowadays. And if you get anything that's like at least a C tier, I'm willing to bet a lot of money that you can safely run pigtails. But you can go read that. But he basically goes through how much power is like going through the cables, and what the cable gauges are, etc., and the calculations that work out why it is safe. But assuming you have like a C or better tier power supply that doesn't use completely crap, you know, thin cables, you should be fine. Nerd, and then the 12 volt high power cable, it is becoming common, but aren't people complaining about burnt cable ends and stuff because of it? Like, I'm actually using the 12 VHP cable on mine, the 4070 Super. I'm not too concerned because it's not a super high powered card to begin with, and I made sure to fully seat it in. But I feel like this cable, as convenient as it is because it can deliver 600 watts, it's also been pretty problematic since it's become more mainstream. So I feel like a lot of people hate the new standard for that 12 VHP. So we'll see if it sticks around or if something else comes of it. And this is something that you'll know if you like follow, you know, like Bauer, Gamers Nexus, all the other channels that kind of cover this side of the more like technical and more in-depth stuff. Just buy chickens and make that your investment bet. We did just buy we buy the chicken tenderloins from Costco, the 6-pack. We eat a lot of chicken in this house. And eggs. Though we are having steak tonight. Those boards from AliExpress, like Maxsun, Soyo, are those Risk? I would only buy these types of boards if you're putting together like a $300 or less system and you're trying to get like the cheapest motherboard you can get. The issue about these is that they don't typically have a lot of support. Like when you go to their website, sometimes you can't even find these motherboards on there. And if you do, they won't have like BIOS updates or anything. I have heard of some of these Maxsun and Soyo motherboards, especially for older platforms, having issues with regards to not being compatible with regards to like, you know, secure boot or TPM BIOS settings to allow you to play like modern games that require those things. That would be the only thing I would look out for. I would not buy a Maxsun or Soyo board if you're building like a $1,000+ system with modern parts. In that case, just buy like, you know, from Amazon or Newegg or in your secondhand market, like actual brands that are known here in the US. When you go to their website and you go to support, there's actual, you know, like BIOS versions and updates and a track record. Oh, that's what you meant. The 12 VHP from the PSU to 2 times PCIe. I think that is a little different because compared to a pigtail, I would not be concerned about the 2 times PCIe adapter from the 12 VHP to 2 times PCIe at all. What up, Edelonic? Do you ever do build reviews on here? I posted mine in Discord. Would love your feedback. Yeah, we do look at builds sometimes. After we get through like all the stuff that I want to talk about, which we are somehow 30 minutes in the stream. So let's get to the main topic. I'm sorry. You guys have a lot of good things to talk about. And you keep the chat going. So, okay. So let's take a look at this. Main thing that I want to talk about today is latest Steam hardware survey reveals Nvidia RTX 5070 share grew by 228%. You rarely see this happen, so let's take a look more into it. The GPU saw a sudden jump in popularity this month, and the 5060 also saw a significantly higher share change this month. So it becomes the most popular GPU as per Steam hardware survey. Yep, 32 gigs of system RAM is also a sudden popularity surge. The 46 is no longer the most popular card, which is kind of strange to see I mean, the 970 at one point in time was the most popular, but it's usually the 60 level cards that are at the top. So we look at I'll pull up the actual one. This seems unusual considering there's some bizarre changes in the OS and language share. Language share with a 30.74% increase in the Chinese language, which could have made. So when we look at the charts today, in March, it's because it takes a little bit of time for them to release the February data. So we're looking at February data, and what was in February? Chinese New Year. So they did point out that the Chinese language increased. So that means, you know, we could deduce that it means that more Chinese people more people in China or Chinese-speaking areas took the survey. And a weird connection, and I kind of don't see it, is like because people got, you know, Chinese New Year's, they get I don't know how many weeks off, but they get a decent chunk of time off. So then they fired up their computers, played games, got fed the survey, and then more Chinese people took the survey, which is why you know, the Chinese language percentages went up. But also, I just don't see it. Like, all those people that supposedly now took the survey that caused this kind of weird anomaly also had 5070s, like, as opposed to a lot of the other cards, which, I mean, the 5060 also went up by quite a bit as well. We can take a look at this zoomed in. I will go to the Steam hardware survey, and we will look at last year and the year before in February to see if we see any weird trends. But yeah, this is, do I speak Chinese? No, I do not speak Chinese. I'm not Chinese. I may look it, but I'm not. But yeah, look at this. So any graphics card on the Steam hardware survey usually doesn't go much above like 4%. We could see that the 4060 was leading the charge at like a little bit over 4%, 3.9%. But like, you look at any of these numbers going back like, you know, the last 5 months or 4 months rather, and you don't really see anything passing much more than 4%. But all of a sudden, this card that 1.8% jumped up to 2.2, which is pretty reasonable. 2.2 to 2.4, 2.4 to 2.8, and then Chinese New Year, boom, from 2.87% to 9. So that's like they said 228%. So it's almost 3 to over, to over 9%. These numbers right here, like 9, 6, 7, even this 5.6, we normally don't see any graphics card holding that high of a percentage. So let's see, we got a 5000 series, 5000 series, then 4, and then this one is 5000 series. I don't know. Within the last year, did that many people in China buy 57s specifically, compared to all the people who already owned 4000 series cards, which you don't, I mean, the 4070s on here at like 4.5 something percent, 4070 Super at 3. But like, I would have thought that the average person doesn't like just buy a new graphics card every upgrade cycle. I would have thought 40 series cards would have made a bigger jump. Even like, unless, does everyone in China just have the latest and greatest at all the time? So people in China are buying 5070s. I would like to see other data because the Steam hardware survey isn't flawless. There are problems with it. I actually here, let me see. Let me run a poll. Have you been fed the Steam hardware survey? Within the last year, yes or no? I'll say last year. I got fed the Steam hardware survey within this last month, actually. But I've heard a lot of people say they've never been fed it before. So I'm just trying to get an idea. So one of the issues with Steam hardware survey is that you can't just submit your system specs at any given point in time. It has to be asked of you, which to me is kind of weird. Why not either make it almost not mandatory, but like, why not serve it to everyone every single month? Or why not allow people at any point in time to go submit data? And then like give them a limit of like 1 or 2 submissions so that they can't skew it or something. I don't know. People might try to game the system by like installing 5 different AMD cards in and taking the survey. But there's like ways to prevent cheating the system to like skew the data, right? So I just don't understand why the Steam hardware survey isn't done like that, because then you can or they could kind of like, you know, shut down all of the criticism towards them being inaccurate representation of what people actually have out there. I don't know if I fully buy into the 5070 actually being the most like representative card. This to me looks way like way too like sus. Though I do believe that Nvidia dominates the top like 15 spots of the chart. We've like seen that for years. So if you guys haven't heard of this, so here's the actual Steam hardware survey. Let's take a look at 1 year ago, right? So this is the Wayback Machine. If you guys have never heard of it, you can go put in a website link and it can give you snapshots of it years ago. So we'll look back in 2025, mid-March, where we'll have February data available. So we'll pop this one open if I can get to it. And then we'll look at 2024 as well. We'll look at like March's here. Let's look at 2023 just to see what happened around those times with regards to any weird jumps. Come on. I hate that this is not giving me... It's not letting me pick the snapshot time. Here we go. Okay. So this is looking at February 2025, 1 year ago. When I took the survey, it scanned my system. Yeah, it scans the system. You can't put in the specs yourself. It scans the systems, it grabs the specs, and then it gets submitted there. So last year, we saw a similar bump, except it was the 4060 because, which this, to me, okay, with the whole Chinese people going on vacation, or, you know, having a vacation. But it's like, wait up. Dude, Chinese people just not play games the rest of the year or any other of the months? Like, is it only when they have this like 2 to 3 week holiday that they all get online and then they're fed the hardware survey and then that's what causes this jump up? I'll take a look at the language, like percentages in a bit. But so we did see kind of like abnormal jumps, like right here. This, it wasn't necessarily double, but being at like almost like 8.5%. That's okay. So we see the same trend here. Here's the 3060 back in 2024 getting a decent bump, though October, what was going on here? October saw this at like 9%. Why Chinese don't buy AMD? I don't know. I had it once in the 10 years I used AMD, says Jay Gordon. Steam just asked me the other day if I wanted to add my system. Did you? Oh, Junior Ben, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about the Discord announcement. I have forgotten in previous weeks, but I don't know if it makes that. The Discord server is so small. I feel like I'm not sure how many people actually get to the stream due to that versus the YouTube notifications. But no, I should have put it out. I usually do. I've missed it a few times in the past, but I was just busy doing other stuff today and I totally forgot. Yeah, 5060 to me seems understandable. Thoughts on Armory Crate? I usually hate those bundled motherboard software that keeps on pestering you to install it. I sometimes do it because that's the best way to control RGB software and to like do other things. I hate, like, what's the Gigabyte one called? Fusion? Is that Fusion? Whatever the freaking things are called. ASRock. What is the ASRock one? RGB. Yeah. I hate all those bundled in softwares that the motherboards try to get you to install. I install them because they give you control over things that are otherwise annoying to control, but yeah. How's Bazzite going? I'm using Mint, so far so good. Bazzite, I mean, we didn't get to do too much. We did get into a game last time. I also did fix the audio. So today we're going to see if we can play a little bit more games and do some other stuff. I'm going to add another drive, another terabyte to the system, and then we'll go from there. Everybody was in China looking for cheap counterfeit 5090s. I'm surprised the 9060 is not the top of the list, despite reports of AMD that AMD card is selling out lately. Yeah, if we look at today's Steam hardware survey, I mean, 1, 2, let me see, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 is integrated graphics from AMD. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, I mean, where is the 9060 even? The 9060 isn't even on today's hardware survey. Seriously? It can't even, wait. 9060 XT, yeah. I just control F'd it and it is not on this list at all. Though AMD does have the, so we got some integrated graphics, 7800 XTs. Look at this sea of green, and then boom, you got the 7800 XT, 6600. Surprisingly, I would have thought the 6600 would be higher than the 7800 XT, and then 7600 XT not too far behind. Can't they just collect our data to determine the results? They should. How many people are going to complain if Steam just didn't give you an option to take the survey and just took your data anyways? I mean, people I can see like that's like a negative. There is a negative reason for that, just because that's just more data they can sell. So for like, I don't know, targeted ads or whatever the heck. But people, so many people already accept that with Windows that I feel like even if they did it, the backlash wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't mind it just because for selfish reasons. I would like to just know, like, you know, the hard data. I don't want there to be any doubt to if this data is accurate or not. Which there is some degree of accuracy because not everybody gets fed the survey. I feel like I've been fed the survey every time I change my GPU for sure. Yeah, which is kind of interesting for me because that's exactly what happened. Well, not exactly what happened. When I changed, it's because I changed my motherboard and CPU. Maybe that's what triggered it to pop up. But I got the 9060 XT 16 gig this year, but I haven't get it to feed. Yeah. Martin Parks has a 5080. Is a 5080 even on here at all? 5080 surprisingly is it's like around the like 1.5% ish representation, which is kind of high on the list given it's, you know, $1,000 card. And it's beating older cards like the 1650 and 3080 at least this month. And other months, see, we're even seeing you see this trend regardless of if it's China or not. We see a pretty stark decrease in something like the 1650 from more than 1% drop, whereas there's a steady increase for basically high-end 5000 series cards that are $1,000. Have I seen the rumor about the 5059 gigabyte? Also, what GPU is your daily driver? You have a 5070 Ti? I have a 4070. Yeah, 4070 Super, which is equivalent to a 5070, like just plain. I want data so bad. Are you sure I'm not a Chinese spy? No, I think a lot of people would like this data. Especially the people who are, you know, super AMD or Nvidia fanboys, because then they could tote it as they're on the winning team. I just want it because I'm in the, you know, I'm in the enthusiast PC tech space. This is just interesting to know. Yeah, hard to tell if the Super Series will even release this generation. I wouldn't hold my breath for it. If you need something now, I would just get it right now. So yeah, a little bit more than half the people have not been fed the survey within the last year. But maybe it's because you guys haven't changed your hardware or whatever. Are there no 9000 series on the card? Let's see, 90. Yeah, there is not. Which is kind of crazy, right? Actually, let me run a poll with you guys again. So let me end this poll. So we got AMD, Nvidia, Intel. Even if you have integrated graphics, you could still answer this. Pedro, I haven't got a survey from Steam in years. They don't want my PC info. I must have a crappy PC. Yeah, back in 2023, we did not see... 2023 did not see anything weird like this. Like, all these numbers... Yeah, look at the top cards. The percentage changes were within, like, 1% of changes to the previous month. Now, okay, let's see. So where is the language stuff? Language, here we go. So yeah, simplified Chinese is up. So we go back to the Wayback Machine and we look back at last year. I mean, it's probably gonna be a similar story. Language, simplified Chinese, up 20%. So what is it right now? Right now it's up 30%. But last year, in 2025, simplified Chinese up 20% for February. And then 2024, simplified Chinese up 7% for 32. Wait, this year it's at 54%. Yeah, every other country down, China up by like a lot. Let me look at the previous month, actually. because for on this chart, they don't show the previous month. So we got to use the Wayback Machine for this one. So we look even at, let's look at like January in, so this would be December data. Come on. Can you let me click the link? Jeez. How's the 9070 XT looking? Love mine. It's not even on the chart. But I want a 9070 XT. I just don't want to spend 700 to 800 bucks for it. I am trying to go through my inventory to see if I have hardware I could trade. I don't want to sell my hardware to get money to buy a 9070 XT. I just want to trade. So language, English. Yeah, see? When it's not Chinese New Year's, the English is the majority language. So I don't know. To me, that's just crazy. It just happens to be when all these Chinese people apparently go on, you know, get holiday break, they get fed the Steam hardware survey at the same time, as if they weren't playing games throughout the rest of the year and would have gotten the survey fed ahead of time. Because I think the way that I've noticed the Steam hardware survey works, like you guys have said, like, oh, when I change hardware, something happens. I think once they get your data, they don't like ask for it again. But I don't know if that means it's not included in the next coming months. Hey, you submitted your 9070 XT? Yeah. I get the survey way more on Linux than I ever did on Windows. I have not gotten it yet on Bazzite. Haven't watched you in a bit. What up, Yellow Skeet? But I recently had a cable mod disaster. Mine was replaced by I'm reaching out to Power Color about the OG. If they could repair it, I could send you mine for not a wait, what? You had a cable mod disaster. Mine was replaced by I'm reaching out to. Oh, like you're wait, you want the original graphics card back that's basically broken? I don't know if they'll give you that. If you had to send in your broken graphics card and then they gave you a replacement, companies don't want to send you back the broken stuff because then you'll end up selling, or you could potentially end up selling it in the secondhand market, which is why companies want you to destroy AIOs and stuff like that if yours has a defect, and they don't want you to ship it back to them, but they want you to send pictures of you cutting up the tubes and stuff like that. That's why companies do things like that, so that you can't then put it out in the market as a broken or defective product. But so yours, you replace your card and you're trying to get the original one back. Oh, cable are reimbursed. Seeing if Power Color will repair the connector. Oh, on the original. Oh, got it. As the only damage is plastic in a single pin. Does it still work though? I feel like a graphics card can still work perfectly fine even if the plastic housing melted, so long as like the pins and the solder and stuff are still intact. And once you replace like the problem, which was, it sounds like the cable was, but or does the card just not, or are you just too afraid to even test it anymore? I was using it with it melted, only realized, yeah, when you try to remove it, so it still was working up to the point where it melted. Interesting. So with regards to Bazzite, which we will get to in a second, I have it pulled up here. I'm not using Linux like once the stream ends. I'm only using it here on stream with you guys because I want to run into problems and do things like on the stream documented, as opposed to me figuring stuff out on my own and then reporting back to you guys. Like, I want you guys to see in real time what it's like to use Linux without like hiding the hours of potential research and watching videos and tutorials behind the scenes. So yeah, I'm only doing it, but well, so I logged on today just to install like Resident Evil Requiem, but other than that, I don't use it outside of the stream. Though I am, after installing Mint and now having Bazzite and using it for the, you know, the few hours that we have during the stream, I am tempted to install it on one of my laptops just to have and just to start using more of. But I think I'll hold off on that for a little bit. This is my OG bit banger, still rocking YouTube 15 years later. Hewlett Packard, some random assortment of letters and numbers, and then 20 gigs of memory. How do you even get 20 gigs? Like 5 4-gig sticks, or 2 8-gig sticks and a 4-gig stick. Okay. Athlon X4640. AMD Turks 2 GB. Is that what you're using to chat right now? That's the HD 6000 series. That was my first AMD card. Yeah, the 6870. I remember I bought back in, what year was this? Maybe like 2010, 2011. What? Yeah, around 2010, 2011-ish. I transitioned over from Nvidia. I had a GTX 280 to a HD 6870. Which, looking back, I don't even know how those cards stack side by side. It might have been a downgrade, but I was trying to run 3 monitors. And at the time, AMD had that Infinity, whatever you call it, technology that allowed you to run 3 monitors, whereas Nvidia, I think their cards were limited to 2 monitors. I don't remember when Nvidia was like was easily able to run 3 monitors, but that was the main reason I switched over. Card was fine. Cables actually melted onto my motherboard. Oh, which started causing voltage-related crashes. Oof. That's where I realized the issue. Just got to figure out replacing the connector. Yeah. So wow, cable mods just reimbursed the whole thing. So I'm curious. Do these companies not try to talk to each other to just figure out one fixing it and then like them reimbursing through that? Because in this case, yeah, you could kind of double up in profit because you got it replaced already, but you got the reimbursement, but you still have the card. So you can basically, it's like getting a free card. Assuming that, I feel like fixing a connector like that would be on the order of like a couple $100. Or, I wonder how much, was it, Northwest Repairs? What's the other channel besides from Northwest Repair? There's other channels that do a lot of this type of repair. I wonder how much Northwest Repair would charge to fix a connector like that. Let me see. GPU repair. What's the other GPU repair person? Tronics Fix. I have not heard of this person. Northridge Fix. Northridge and Northwest Repair. These two are the guys that I've seen the most of when it comes to doing, board level repairs and soldering and stuff. But yeah, you should get some quotes and see what you could, if you can get it fixed. Yeah, I don't want to profit, and I doubt Power Color will replace. I mostly want to get it repaired and swap back into my roommate's PC so I can take my 3080 Ti from EVJ back. LMAO. My first card was the all-powerful GTX 5050 Ti. Hey, wondering if I should upgrade from a 1080. I've got an 8700K. Yes, there are many cards that are more powerful than the 1080 that would pair decently well with the 8700K. Let me see. Let's go to the hierarchy list, which is not perfect, but it's a good reference. So if you have a 1080 right now, I would say I would try to aim for an upgrade that's at least like 30% or better. So that puts you into like our Intel Arc A770 territory, 3060 territory. You could get a 1080 Ti. I have seen one going for $100 in my local area. I'm so tempted to grab one, but I specifically want a Founders Edition one, so I might have to wait for that. B580 is about 50% better. Yeah, so any of these cards, like 6650 XT, and they shouldn't be too expensive. Some of these cards are like 220, maybe 200. This one's like $250. I don't know if they still are right now. RTX 4060 is like 250 maybe. 6700 XT, you can get these for like 225, at least in my local area. 3060 Ti, similar, like 250 or less. So yeah, 1080, from a 1080, I think there's a lot of options. You can get a big uplift in performance and spend less than $300. Now, if you want to just spend the 300 something bucks, you can get double the performance and get a 16 gig. Actually, these have gone up in price. Let's see Newegg, because they have more reasonable prices than Amazon. If we sort by the lowest price, these are going what? I'm guessing like 370. Oh, 350. 350 free shipping. 370 for the next one. There's only one model for 350. Then everything else is like 380 to $400. So yeah, if you got 350 to spend, you can get. Oh, this is 8 gig card. Never mind. Boo. Jesus, where's the 16 gig ones? 16 gigs start at $440. Never mind. I take it back. You're gonna have to find a secondhand market one, unfortunately. What kind of GPU does my laptop use? The one that I was planning on putting on was that Think Eagle one that has AMD integrated Vega graphics, which means Linux would probably work well on it. Yeah, I know, right? MSRP in this economy. I think you can find here. Let me look at my secondhand market real quick. Let's see what we got. Okay, 9060 XT, 420. Oh, this one's in Bellingham, a little bit further from me, but this one's going after tax. You would have paid this much. 350 plus, at least for me in Washington, 10% tax gets you to 380. So, and this is a 16 gig one. You might be able to talk it down a little bit to like, yeah, but it depends on where you live. Though 6700 XT, let's take a look at these. 250 right here, 9 days ago. Hellhound 6700 XT, pretty solid price. Might be able to negotiate down to 220, but then again, Washington State is pretty good when it comes to PC hardware in the second-hand market. Not everyone has this good of a market. Even Nobe has turned on 8 gigabytes. I turn on 8 gigabytes when you're looking at a near $400 card. I'm okay with 8 gigabytes at what was that MSRP for that card supposed to be? Like under 300, right? I think 8 gigabyte in new cards still has its place, but it better be around $250. Tronix Fix has been around for years. Steve is awesome. Yeah, let me see. Tronix Fix. Oh, wait. I lied. Okay, I have heard of this person. Didn't he have a health problem within the last year? I do remember him. Let me see. He had like a diagnosis? Yes. Okay. I don't remember his name. I remember his face. I didn't realize this was Tronix Fix. Okay. Yes, I have seen him before. And I remember he does a lot of the console stuff as well. Yes. Okay. I'm glad it looks like, I mean, I don't follow him closely. I don't know him personally. Let's see. It looks like, so he's in the thumbnails, but I think I remember hearing about something like this. Other people were helping him with the channel. Is that right or no? he's able to overcome it and was doing well, that's actually very awesome to hear. Yeah, I remember. I think wasn't it his wife that made a video kind of explaining the whole situation and why he wasn't making as many videos when that was going on and stuff. I think I remember seeing it because I think a lot of the other tech content creators were sharing about it, like on Twitter and Reddit and all those stuff. So yeah, okay. What up, HDZ? God bless you and your family. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the 1 year ago mark. Yeah, so man, I kind of just guessed that 1 year. My concept of time is kind of like out the window just because nowadays, like a year in my life is like 1/36 of like my whole lifetime. So each year that passes, 1 year, it becomes a smaller fraction of everything that I've ever lived. So I just have no idea if things happened like 1, 2, 3 years ago. A lot of things that happened a couple years ago, I feel like just happened in the last year. Mistakenly. So yeah. Okay. Yep, there it is. There's the chemo baldness right there. Okay. Ooh, so we are over an hour into stream. We talked about the Steam hardware survey. A decent amount of people in the chat have 5070s. You could do the laptop this stream, maybe? No. We got to get into Resident Evil. And I got to show you that the audio works. All right, so let's switch over to Linux side of things. You guys should have heard that. That might be a little loud. Let me turn this down. Desktop audio. Do you guys hear double by chance? Let me know if you guys hear double. Oh, hey, look! I got the Steam hardware survey served to me. You can't make this up. Please take a moment to complete the following short survey. Each month, Steam collects data about what kinds of computer hardware and software our customers are using. The survey data is incredibly helpful to us in that it ensures we're making good decisions about what kind of technology investments to make products to offer. Yes, I will gladly take it. So let's see everything in this system that it pulls out. Lenovo Model 1036, desktop form factor, no touch input. We've got genuine Intel. So it's got the Xeon 2135 in it. 12 processors, all this stuff. Bazzite, yo, we are adding to the Linux percentages on the Steam hardware survey. Let's see what else. Video card, and we're adding some RX 580, which I don't remember how far that is on it, but let's see. 32 gigs of RAM. Okay, and I'm adding to the 32 gigs of RAM users. English, 2 drives. Huh? Oh, I didn't add the 1 terabyte yet. Okay, submit results. View survey results. Let's take a look at this. Where is the RX 580 if it's even on here? There it is. It's on here still. It's below the 2048 SP. That's interesting. I did go ahead and install Resident Evil. There is no double audio. Interesting. Let me play a video real quick. And let me play my own video. What are the specs of your computer? Do you know? Oh, go down.
Let's see. I got a Core i7 4080 64.
So no double audio on that? It's because on OBS, I have audio coming through the capture card, but then it comes through the desktop audio sound source as well. So I see two. It is double audio. Yes, okay. So I need to disable desktop audio on here. Give me 1 second. So what do we got? Desktop audio. So we're going to mute desktop audio. Capture card is on. Is VOC music still playing? Okay, now we should be good.
Gigs of RAM, 4 terabyte SSD. I prefer.
How's that? That should have been better. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. I should be set to go for future streams now that we got that figured out. Okay. In Bazzite. So here's a question for you guys. What is the best way to look at how much room your drive has? I feel like in Windows, it's pretty good. You go to My Computer, you look at your drives, it tells you right there, like, this is how big the drive is, this is how much space you have left. So, like, I've been going in Bazzite to this, Dolphin, I guess. And then I click on here, but then I have to right click to go to properties to then see what the size is, or like free space. Like, is there any way for me to look? Because remember, I'm trying to see if there's a Windows UI equivalent of like where I can just look at all my drives in one place without having to right click and go to properties to look at how much free space I have. Disk usage analyzer, is that built in or do I have to grab it? Apparently this file light thingy is already installed. What do I have to like select? Okay. But this is kind of like Winderstat. This looks kind of like Winderstat or like tree size. I'm not, but so that's probably not it. Danny, you Linux nerd, lol. I'm not a Linux nerd. I have like less than 10 hours of Linux under my belt. On GNOME, it's called disks, I think. Maybe something, let's see. Disks. Okay, manage drives and media. Okay, this is a little bit more of what I'm looking for. Well, this is kind of like the partition manager in Windows. I'm seriously just looking for the equivalent of like this PC on Windows. Tony Hey Munkits. Wait, is this the person who asked about this graphics card earlier? Or is this a different person also asking about this? Looks wise as well. Well, if you want the thicker, beefier heatsink with lower fan noise and lower temperatures, get the Aero. The Aero should be the more expensive premium card. It's what, $40 difference, as someone else said, or maybe it was you who said that. At this point, just pay for the extra $40, get the Aero. They both, to me, actually look pretty similar. Like, they both got the silver backplate, they got some white on it, white fans, etc. Just get the Aero and don't like second guess it. Like the $40, unless you're dying for it and you're like struggling to pay grocery bills, at which point I would say, why are you buying an $800 graphics card? So you're probably not like that strapped for cash for the $40 difference. Just go for the Aero, make it simple. Have you tried Linux Rising? I don't even know what that means. Disk usage analyzer. Let me see. Disk usage. Install disk usage analyzer from the bazaar. Okay, we would do that. But I don't think this is gonna do what, you know, what I'm looking for. So, okay, this is, actually, no. It does. Yeah, here we go. Let me pin this. Pin to the task manager. Okay, so now it's always here. So now, okay, this actually does do what I'm looking for. And it can analyze the disk, it seems. So if I click this, it can give you the breakdown of everything, which is nice. I keep on forgetting. Every time I do this, the arrow gets bigger and bigger. But this is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. I just thought there would have been a built-in function similar to how Windows has it. But yeah, so now I have these two drives in here, but I need to partition or initialize a 1 terabyte drive. Wait, is this drive not being detected? What's going on? I should see the drive in here, right? You guys should see my mess of cables. It is kind of bad right now. Let me see if I can show it. Is this gonna show? Oh no, I gotta put... I gotta put droid cam. Droid cam. Here we go. Put it on the test bench right above. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. So I did add a third drive, which is this one right here. So I do have the power and data cable going into it. And then here's the, so this is the drive that the OS is on. And this is the drive that we first started loading more Steam games onto. But then we ran out of space because Steam games are like friggin' 80 to 150 gigabytes depending on the game. Resident Evil is like 75 or something. So then I added a 1 terabyte just in case we wanted to add more stuff or check out WoW or whatever. Because WoW was like, retail WoW was like 100 something gigs. But I think I should be seeing that that SSD on here, no? You forgot to set it to Wumbo. When I first installed Bazzite last summer, I read a lot of comments that it does like multiple drives. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Got it. Yes. So I did. Well, earlier I said maybe go for the cheaper one, but I changed my mind. Go for the Aero. Just get the bigger fat graphics card. Enjoy those cool temperatures and low sounds. I'm playing WoW right now. Nice. Which one are you playing? Retail or classic? That's a WoW. This cable management is like test bench style cable management. Okay, it doesn't like multiple let me see. Let's look this up and see if this is a thing. Bazzite doesn't like multiple dick drives. Does Bazzite handle multiple drives fine? I got a system Windows 11. Okay, I read Bazzite does not work with NT. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 11 drives will be handled fine. Let's see. I ran my multiple drive just fine. Desktop formatted. Oh! Ooh. I did not pre-format it. That might be the reason why. On my desktop, I formatted my drives as XT4 prior to my Bazzite install. Ooh, you guys think that might be it? Has anyone run into that problem? Because this was a Windows drive prior. And I have no idea how it's formatted as. They say not to put Steam library onto NTFS. Okay. Interesting. Were you guys already aware of this stuff? You're playing Midnight Retail? Nice. I actually got the Midnight Collector's Edition. Where the heck did I put it? I think it's over here. I don't... But I keep my collector's editions, sorry, where anytime people talk about WoW, because it's a not really dying, but like, it is my passion. What's up? Yes, please. Like, I bought the collector's edition, but to collect it, because I got a bunch of the collector editions over there. So then I usually end up buying, because I don't open it, and then I usually end up buying the game separately, like I did that with the War Within. But I don't know if I'm going to play Midnight this time around, just because I do not have time to be playing an MMO right now. But I'm glad you're playing Midnight. It just came out, right? So hopefully that's going well with all the like player housing and stuff. I will probably eventually check it out, but just right now I'm like way too busy. Ooh, look at these.
Still tastes good.
You did overcook it. There's like no pink on it. But yeah, it is good. Thank you, love. Mm-hmm. So we got some ribeyes at Costco. And there's no pink on this. It's still good though. But I like my steaks medium. This is like a little bit more than medium. But we also got these fancy flake salts. You guys seen those? I think it's what Salt Bay uses. But we're trying this for the first time. But yeah. It's not so overcooked that it's bad. It's just more cooked than my preference. But still very good. Funny coincidence, I'm about to have steak for dinner as well. Wow. Yeah. we typically don't buy ribeyes because they're the more expensive cut. But lately Melissa's been wanting to learn how to cook steak better and in different ways. So we're like, all right, we'll splurge a little. Got enough for everyone? No. Because NTFS is slow on Linux and not well optimized on Linux. Okay, it needs to be XT4. Okay, so I need to format this. Let me shut down. Actually, no. I can just do it on my own. Let's get into Resident Evil. I'm just curious how or I'm curious if it'll play with no problem. We can go check out. I forgot what. Wait, let me make sure. Oh, processing Vulkan shaders. I don't own this game. It's in my family library, so I need to make sure I'm not kicking off my brother-in-law. I'm not a Resident Evil guy, but I'll test it because other people are. Try screen scaling above 100%. You're not on X11 anymore. You should be on Wayland. Okay, good point. I should do screen scaling because so you guys can actually read. What is it? Scale. What would be the keyword to get into the scaling? Display configurations. Screen scaling. We're already at 130. All right, let's go to 200%. Keep. Okay. Now you guys can read this. Look how big the icons are. Okay. I recently get. What? Reluctant Hero. Which ones did you have? I still need the vanilla one. You gave away to a secondhand store? I would have paid you for the vanilla one. That's the only one I'm missing. So I have all the collector's editions except for the first 3 games sealed. Then I bought an open Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. But even open vanilla collector's editions are super expensive, so I haven't gotten one yet. But I totally would have bought it from you. Which ones did you have? What OS is this? What OS is it? This is Bazzite. I'm playing Last Cloudy on another computer. Okay, shut down. Come on. I had it open on my main computer. Let's go. I bet, without even ever trying this game yet, I have a feeling Resident Evil is going to run somewhat decently. Can I turn on the overlay stuff mid-game? Does that... where was the overlay stuff? You can tell I never use the Steam overlay. I know we gotta get that mango stuff, but I just want a quick FPS check. Is it not interface? Where is it? Overlay. Why would it not be under interface? Startup, default, big picture, smooth scaling, GPU. Wait, what was it? In-game. Steam overlay, there it is. Wait, enable. It is enabled. Okay. Overlay shortcut is Shift Tab. Shift Tab. Nope. Overlay performance monitor. There it is. Sorry. Top. We'll go top left. Okay, there it is. We'll go put the text really big. And then... FPS, we'll get everything. That's as big as you can make the text. That's still pretty small. But okay, at least we have something. Wait, is audio coming through for you guys? Let me see. Let me see if my controller... Yep, it does work. It is plugged in. The worst you could get are the stutters. Yeah, well, I'm curious if it's even gonna stutter. Sure... I'm not going to play a ton through this, so don't worry about spoilers. Wait, offers ability to change camera perspective. It is recommended to use first person when playing as Grace to enhance horror elements. I do want to change perspective. I kind of like third person. So we'll go with that. The following can be set. Okay, yep, whatever. Let's go. Please enter my age? Bro. Why do you gotta get so personal with it? I'm gonna pretend I'm not 30 yet. Okay, wait. Why would it matter? I can't change my age once I put it in. Alright, alright, alright. I'll put my real age. Jeez. What kind of data are they trying to get? Data collection goes crazy. I know, right? Okay, I got some weapon skins and okay, cool. A bunch of DLC. Oh, shaders. Let's see how long the CPU takes. The CPU is only at like 44%. What are you doing? Usually CPU gets pounded during shader compilation. Facts, I thought bro was 22. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've not been 22 in almost over 15 years. I'm actually turning 37 in a few months. There's a lot of blood. Okay. I think it's for multiplayer. Resident Evil multiplayer usually tells people. Oh, does this have a multiplayer mode? Like, when I say multiplayer, I mean like PvP. Does this have a multiplayer co-op? That's why I liked Resident Evil 5. Because they had that co-op mode. You'll see if you get far enough why they asked. Okay, don't spoil it. I wonder, is it one of those things where they integrate it into the game? Kind of like, what is it, Metal Gear Solid 2? That was the one, right? Where they like read your memory card and then talked about some of the save files you had and stuff. We were clearing out our storage unit. I found all the WoW collectors. Just had Vanilla Burning, Lich King, and Pandaria. My wife was like, we don't have room. We agreed. Oh, when was this, Reluctant? We're talking like last year or like straight up last month or two? Oh, and the Diablo Collector's Editions. Oh, whoever's the lucky souls to pick it up from those thrift stores. Man, I would have paid you. Select preferred priority. Performance. Duh. Oh, wait. Change graphic settings? Sure. And it's now going to measure my PC performance. January 6th. Dang, that was very recent. That sucks. I legit just finished the game 5 minutes ago. It's great. Enjoy, bro. I don't know if I'm actually gonna play this. Maybe if it's good enough, maybe I will play it. Though, I will say, I have never completed any other Resident Evil game. I actually have a thing where, like, I play games, but I don't complete them. I just, like, get distracted. A lot of that was because I was a huge MMO player. So, I would always get sucked back into whatever MMO mid-playthrough of any game. So, I'm not a person who has to complete a game. Like, I'll play a game for a long time, especially, like, games, open world games that allow you to just do whatever the hell and not the main quest. I'll like do side quests and I'll grind up my character and like, you know, do everything. And then I'll get bored or just distracted with another game before I even finish it. Like I've still yet to beat Skyrim despite having like hundreds of hours in it. Okay, let's go let's go to options and see what they set it to. So board, okay, yeah, blah, 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 VSync, sure. We'll turn this off. Not like we're gonna get over 60 FPS. Motion blur off, frame rate up to 120, hair strands off. Lowest graphics quality. Okay. We got lowest graphics quality. Let's see how that looks though. Standard, modern. We'll go with modern. Audio is coming through fine for it, right? I have the audio turned down because I'm not wearing headphones and I don't want the mic to pick it up as well. Alright, look at this. So this... Oh my god. Do you guys see how bad that building looks? Okay. Oh. I mean, hey, look, we're talking about like a 10-year-old graphics card, or how old's the 5080, 580 by this point? Is 9 or 10 years old? I think it's 9 years old. I think it came out 2017. I think the 480 was 2016. But, we're talking about a modern AAA title that just came out, like literally this week, or I guess last week, less than a week ago, on a mid-range 9-year-old graphics card. We take what we could get, okay?
Grace. Grace. Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
I'm gonna mess with the settings. Maybe try some. I might up the the quality to medium and then enable FSR. We'll see if we can make it look decently well, or look decently good. I'm just gonna skip for now. This is not gonna be my playthrough. If I do go play it, I will watch the thing. I don't want you guys to be bored with the whole cinematic and cutscenes and stuff. Oh look, we got some rain, some water and reflections. Here, let me move myself. Actually, let me. Where is it? There we go. All right, yeah. So it is looking pretty rough, and we're at 30 FPS. So let's go to. What do we even have control over? Let's see. Okay. Advanced settings. Here we go. Yeah, everything is set to low. Mesh quality low. Upscaling. So it is our. Oh my god, we're already on FSR performance mode. Here, I'm just gonna look. I know playing at native is gonna be bad. Oh, we got frame generation. Let's just see what we can do. All right, so we got. I'm just gonna see what FSR, how much that's gonna tank the FPS. All right, so image quality definitely looks better, but we are playing at almost single digit FPS. So we know that it can look better. I know frame generation, you want to be at least at, a certain threshold, but let's just see what happens. It's fun to mess around with the settings, and see what you can push out of it. So actually, I'm going to down this to balanced, which I think sometimes is passable on lower end hardware. We're going to turn on frame generation. Okay, here we go. So we got frame generation, FSR 3 balanced on. Okay, we're at almost 20 FPS, and the image quality still looks like closer to native than it does lowest everything on performance, right? For a single player game like this, I mean, for any game, I think everyone aims for 60 FPS. But I'm personally okay with like 45 if we're talking about budget hardware. Because you gotta like live within your means, right? Like, we can't expect 60 plus FPS AAA title on freaking $40 graphics card. Okay, so let's keep on messing with it. Let's try it on Windows. I do not have it set up for Windows, unfortunately, and that would take too long to do that. Okay, so we'll keep. I wonder how much of that is frame gen versus how much of it is. So keep that on low. Okay, we'll go to performance, ultra performance with frame gen. But this is earlier it was FSR 1. Maybe FSR 3 looks a lot better. All right, what do we got here?
Yes, I know. That's right.
Everything looks a little bit more kind of like foggy.
Hello?
Definitely a lot more blur. We are closer to 30 FPS. Looks better than what we loaded in at. Yeah, so FSR 3 definitely way better than FSR 1. Because now we're on ultra performance. We were on performance earlier. But this is, wait, so frame gen. So 25, let me turn off frame gen. I've actually found that frame gen sometimes makes it worse. We'll see if that's the case here. We'll turn this off. We'll keep FSR 3 on ultra performance. Nope. Wait. Why did this her hair just got like way worse quality? Bro, the car has no tires? Well, is that a part of the game? No. Is this a car that someone stripped for parts? Yeah. We are seeing right through the car. How about this one? Yep. So there's nothing under the hood, huh? Okay. Where is the VRAM? Does it show VRAM utilization on here? GPU is running at 100%. So we are dipping into system memory, it looks like, because we're running 5.9. Wait. Oh, are we on the 4 gig card? I forgot. Remember when we first had issues in getting a display to work? This is the 4 gig RX 580. I totally forgot. In my mind, I thought we were still working with the 8 gig, which would probably help with a lot of these things. But hey, the game is playable. When you're poor and this is all you can afford, would you guys say you would rather not play the game at all or play it in this state? Yeah, the game is smoking. Too much details for a mid-range graphics card from 2017. Indeed. So frame gen really did nothing. I have had frame gen do increase the frame rate before in other games like Spider-Man, even being below 60 FPS. Yeah, everything else is off. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get right on.
Oh no, it does. Now we went from like 25 to 40-ish. Try 720p. Well, I mean, that's kind of what the upscaling is for. Like playing at ultra performance. What is ultra performance? Here, I'm gonna alt tab just to see. Where's Firefox? Nope, that's not it. What is FSR ultra performance resolution? So ultra is the equivalent of playing at.
Right, sorry. Just a
ultra performance mode upscale. Yeah, but where's it rendering from? It's not 720p.
FBI?
It's something like really low.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
Oh, here it is.
One now, right?
Here's the table. So ultra performance is the equivalent of for 1080p. It's playing at. Oh, you guys can't see that because that's in the way.
Right?
It's playing at the equivalent of 360p.
Hey, are you with me?
So yeah, it's about 1/3 of the actual resolution. So we could go down to 720p, which it should help it. But we're already technically playing below native 720p, if that makes sense. Here, let me close out of this just so that
be careful in there. Building's condemned. Where it is,
we don't have any other resources hogging. Oh, I gotta skip this.
yeah.
Options. All right. So you said to go down to 720p. We would have to go to. Wait, is there no full screen mode? I guess we don't need it. Okay, we'll go to 720. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh man, look how smooth this is. What? 88 FPS now. All right. It looks like mud, but
Why am I even here?
look how smooth this is. I mean, let's see. 720 divided by 3. Why am I so bad at math? That's like 240p. We're at 240p right now, upscaled. It is smooth though. I'm not sure if you guys can tell because, I mean, the capture card max. I can only see it at 60, the equivalent of 60 FPS because of the refresh rate of this monitor. But through the stream should be at 60 FPS too, unless you turn it down. So it should be noticeably smoother. Hey, if you like the game and you can play it, then who cares, right? I would say if I was a kid in middle school or high school, and this is the system I had, and I wanted to play this game, I would play this game at these settings because the gameplay and the story, for the most part, is not that different. You could argue that like, oh, if you go below 60 FPS, it's like not, you know, as good gameplay. But I think as long as you're above 60, you should be fine. And oh, this isn't good. So yeah, if we see more of this, then I would say I would not be satisfied with it. Maybe you need at least an 8 gig card. I'm really curious now if an 8 gig card would have fixed this. Man, this is dark. Do I have a flashlight anywhere? Jeez. So we're straight up missing like entire rooms and walls and ceilings and textures and stuff. So okay, let me go over here. And it looks like the floor is missing here. Unless, wait, this is so dark. Can you guys even see? This is not intentional, right? This isn't like a condemned building with missing floorboards. Okay, no. Yeah, it closed back up. Let me look at the ground for a bit. Let the memory and textures catch up. I cannot see anything though. My goodness, where's my flashlight? Oh, there it is. Okay, looks like I do have to go through here, which is gonna be hard to navigate considering half of like the polygons are gone. It actually gives a vibe of an actual horror. There are games that mess around with stuff like that. Max Payne, nah, not really. I remember in Max Payne when you had to go into that dark room and follow the blood trail. You had like no floors, no ceilings, no walls, no nothing. Nar, that's weird. Yeah, feels like an alpha game. Okay, maybe we wouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't see why the age. Oh, maybe we wouldn't see why the age was needed. I love how like depending on when the cutscene cuts, there's like stuff there and then it's gone. Nope, the floor's gone now. And then let's see if it comes back in the next cut. Oh, I guess it's a different angle, but we can see right outside. Okay, can I kill like? Am I gonna see one zombie at least? I don't want to read their investigation report. I want to have a gun. Can I equip this gun? You're not gonna let me equip it? Oh, wait. Yeah, register shortcut. Yep. Maybe I need to get to a certain part to be able to... Oh, maybe I gotta turn off my flashlight? Nope. Can I not hold my gun out and aim it? Maybe they don't want you to waste all your ammo beforehand. Okay, well, I actually had a little bit of hope that this would have... I wouldn't have minded the blurry, you know, textures and the blurry, like... Look at the hair. Look at the hair on her. I wouldn't have minded the graphics quality and resolution being so low, but yeah, I think straight up missing like floors and walls and stuff, that would not be an enjoyable playing experience at all. Can we go full potato mode? How would we do that? It takes up 10 gigs on your 3060, which is a 12 gig card or the 8 gig version. Try. Okay, yeah, let's up the quality. Good call. Because we are on lower resolution. I don't know if that's going to do anything. But it doesn't hurt to... Wait. Advanced settings. Wait. They can only be changed from the menu? What? You cannot change it mid-game? You can only change all these other things? Oh, okay. We'll go up to medium. Yeah, we'll go up to medium, or normal, I guess it's called. Okay. Continue. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I need to. Probably not today, because we are, what, an hour 45 in the stream? Yeah, I will on my own time plug in the other 8 GB card, and we'll see if that does it. Okay. We are at a higher graphics quality. We are already missing this portion of the brick wall down here. But we will go inside anyways. Oh, it doesn't even let me pull out my flashlight until we go inside. Okay. And we're still at 91 FPS. What the heck? So this is... Let's see if we have less missing walls. I don't know why there would be any less missing... Yes, nope. Still a bunch of missing stuff. Okay, but FPS seems to not have been hit much by it. We're still like in the 80s, interestingly enough. Quit the game. Yes. Okay, let me see. Let me quit. I mean, I don't think that's it. I think a 4 GB card, we are asking too much from this little card. I really dislike when you can change or when you can't change it. I think you're trying to say, man, I really dislike when you can't change graphics on the fly. I think is what you're trying to say, right? Because I feel like most people also feel that way. Oh, hey, look. Now the Steam overlay got huge. I guess that's cool. Okay, just to make sure, graphics. Yep, 720p, normal, with FSR 3, frame generation. Okay. What GPU are you using? We're using a 4 GB RX 580. Try Cyberpunk? We did Cyberpunk last week. We didn't try it on Bazzite, but we tried Cyberpunk at some point in time. I could do Cyberpunk again. Okay, we're still missing that panel down there. 82 FPS. Yeah, I think that's just what it is, unfortunately. I mean, aside from that, it's playing smoothly. And maybe in other stages, it's not as big of a problem. But, yeah, this would be too distracting to actually play. Like, we're just straight up seeing through the floor and the walls. Hey, what's up, Joe P? Yep. So, alright. Resident Evil does not work. Maybe next week we can see with the 8 GB card in there. Though, I think the display issue is going to happen again. Okay. Now, we don't need that overlay to be... Actually, no. We're going to play a game at 1080p now. Okay. This one did not work last time. Because... Or I was installing it last time and it took too long. Let's do Horizon. I think the fact that it even kept running... Yeah. I mean... I need to find... Maybe I could find another card that's similar to it. And then we can see if that... if it is the VRAM issue. Do you guys think that was solely due to VRAM? Or just because the card is simply not powerful enough? Like, do you think if I had 8 GB of VRAM, which double is quite a bit... especially at lower resolutions, do you think there would have been missing walls and floors and stuff? So we'll go FSR 3, resolution scaling off, VSync, we'll turn that off. Frame generation, I'll keep it off for now, but we can change it in game, full screen, graphics, very low, okay. Yeah, no, I could definitely tell that the game is optimized because of the fact that it was just simply running smoothly. Sure, it was wonky, the quality wasn't the best, there were missing textures and things like that, but the fact that the game just even ran that smoothly without stuttering, without like being constantly 30 FPS, yeah. And it probably is only going to get better as more drivers releases come out, and if there's any small patches for the game itself. But let's see. Let's see how we do here, unless it just crashed on me. Nope, we good. There might be some shader compiling that needs to be done, but okay. Try dark and darker. I don't think I even have room to install that right now. Is dark and darker free? Dark and Darker, it is free to play because it's still early access. Is it going to cost money once it's out? More companies need to take a lesson from Capcom. Except for Monster Hunter, right? Because Monster Hunter was the exact opposite. I seen Resident Evil 9 play on a GTX 1060 6GB this week. Okay, so yeah, the 6GB, I think with 6GB, given that the game was saying that it needed 5.9, that might have been just enough to skirt that problem. What's your CPU right now? You mean in this system or in my own personal system? You think it's the VRAM? Yeah, games will optimize. Kudos. Resident Evil set performance. Turn everything low settings. This system is the Intel Xeon 2135. Yeah, I forget what year it came out. I guess we could check in the meantime. That came out in 2017. So quarter 3 is like 8.5 years old. Look at that. You can buy them nowadays for like 20 or 30 bucks. But apparently it launched at $800. Okay. Alright, we are at 30 FPS, which, I mean, it's playable, but not ideal. So let's go and turn on some stuff. FSR 3. Oh, set to quality. Let's go to balanced and see how that changes it. So, oh my god, what? Come on, give it a few seconds to figure itself out. That should not have gotten worse. The performance went down. I have seen this happen before. Here, let me change it again. And you have to consider that, like, when did especially like when did FSR 3 come out, right? And when did this graphics card come out? I will turn on frame generation in a second if it doesn't get any better. Okay, so this is better now. Yeah, what the heck was up with that specific FSR setting? We'll go to ultra performance. I think it's gonna look really ugly, but I'm just curious. Yeah, what is going on? Does it need like a second to think or something and like actually load it in? Maybe this is why these developers don't want you to change settings on the fly, because it doesn't. Here, I'm gonna actually try something else. Where's XESS? I'll try this. XESS is on. Nope. We'll go back to FSR. I'm going to go to balanced. And I'm going to go to frame gen on. Okay. So we're still at 30 FPS with all of that. That looks so bad. What up, Shauner? I know. It looks so bad because we're playing a super heavy AAA game on a 9-year-old graphics card. I'm trying to. I don't care about the image quality as much as I care about the FPS. Like, I could deal with bad image quality if it's smooth and playable. I'm gonna... Here, let's see if that... Okay, so that actually... Whoa, okay, you guys should have noticed that got way smoother. Let's go kill something real quick. Do I have ammo? There we go. And I'm making it slow motion, so it's not the FPS that's doing that. Let me know if is the volume too loud, or is it fine? So we're like in the 40s, yeah, lower settings, then try to play around with the settings after you get to improve. Yeah. It looks like you're playing Ark Survival. I mean, this game is kind of in the same like theme of dinosaur stuff and gathering materials and stuff like that. That's the same aesthetic. I have not played Ark since like 2016 though. Oh no. Yeah, this is definitely playable, but let me see. Anybody have... Do you think it's just maybe it's a Linux thing? It's kind of strange how changing some of these actually make it way worse. Like going to ultra performance, the FPS should not be 20. Something is really... Here. I'm just gonna run around for a bit. See if it needs to think for a second before maybe actually applying the settings. But yeah, going from performance to ultra performance should not have cut the FPS in half. Something is going on here, and I don't know if it's like the game, the combination of hardware. I'm gonna return the title screen real quick. Maybe maybe it's that. Maybe it wants to load in at those settings. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Where's my manual save file? Or actually I can just continue, I guess. We need a 16 gig RX 580. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some dude in China could probably do that. Solder on some more. Okay, here we... Yeah, what the heck? I don't have an explanation for this. Aside from, you know, we're using like upscaling tech that came out 7 years after the fact compared to when this graphics card came out. But yeah, that's so weird how certain FSR settings give it worse performance when it shouldn't. So it looks like we can only get to like 40 something FPS. Let me see if changing the graphics quality to like low. Wow, look at the difference in I guess it looked like a huge difference the first time I did it, but not anymore. We'll go to low, and we're probably gonna be floating around 30, a little bit less than 30. Oof. Yeah, this compared to like mid 40s definitely feels way choppier. I was gonna say, bet some dude in Eastern Europe made that 16 gig RX 580. Someone should look on YouTube right now to see if that's a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if someone has done that. Yeah, medium isn't it? That definitely made it worse. Or low isn't it? What the heck? Yeah, changing these settings on the fly is not doing what I'm thinking it should do. Here, I'm gonna do this. So this is the settings we had earlier. Very low FSR3 performance. And I guess now we're even lower than before. And I don't know if it's just because the VRAM is being saturated, because we did load out of the game and loaded back in. Yeah, this is... We're getting weird behavior, and it's kind of hard to say if it's because of the graphics card or if it's just because, you know, just because the game works on Linux doesn't mean it's super optimized to run on it. Oblivion pulls this game. I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the IPC threshold of the CPU. Basically, the idea of it's not running at full bore, but struggling with the data coming to it. Yeah, CPU... I need to lower the... Now, wait, why is the resolution... Because we are at 1080p. So I think the scaling took into effect after the fact when we upped the scaling. So let me... What was it again? Oh, here it is. So let's put this down a little bit. Nope, still didn't fit. I guess I didn't need to X out of it. Okay, everything now fit. Okay. GPU's running at 72 degrees. CPU, no temps given. Okay, cool. I looked for it and there is a 16 gigabyte RX 580 in Brazil. Huh. Mercado Lever. Uh-oh. Did the audio? Yep. What just happened to the audio? It's because I alt-tab. Let me alt-tab back in. We lost audio from alt-tabbing, I think. I don't know what else would have done it. Oh, I'm going to shoot you out of the sky, boy. No. Ugh. Gotcha. So, that's not ideal. Losing audio. Oh, did I click the mute button? No, wait, what? No. You just messing with me because the audio's fine here. I didn't click no mute button. Do I have a mute button on my... Nope, the audio's up. I don't think it's muted. Try Proton up QT. What is that? Look at the... Oh, the game tab. There's a speaker on it. Oh! That's what you meant. Sorry. New to Linux. That's my excuse for everything. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Spotted.
Wow, did you actually catch and see that? Or was that just a guess at what could have happened? Because if you actually saw that happening as I alt-tab, you have good eyes. Yeah, so it looks like we're only getting like 30 something here. Sad days. Do I have any older games? Let me see. I think I only installed like AAA games. Well, because we know some games work really well. These are the only games I have installed right now. But yeah, let me go back to God of War real quick. I want to see God of War on Bazzite. God, this game is so well optimized. It's crazy. Pretty sure everyone who has used KDE has done that at some point in time. Okay. Now, Office PC would be worse. They'd be running GT710s. It's on FlatHub on Linux. It's an app. Okay, but what does it do? What is Proton Up QT? Is it just like the Proton layer or whatever, like the experimental layer, or I like what is it? Guys, if you have 4 gig graphics cards, then Linux sucks. Don't be a loser and buy 9070. Hey, I'm going to show you. Depending on the games you like to play, you can have a really good experience. Don't let me down, God of War. What up, Toogs McDoogs? When's the next LAN video? Hopefully next week, actually. Next weekend. App to acquire Proton versions. Okay. I mean, they aren't wrong. 9070XT here and Linux on my system runs like a beast. Well, yeah, I feel like any modern graphics card over $500 would run like a beast on any operating system. Hello, this is what it looks like playing AAA games with Office PC hardware level. Yeah. Proton Plus is better, but it allows you to use community Proton versions. Does that just like work with Bazzite? Wow, when? Yes, I do need to see. Well, it'll probably have to be another time because I don't have enough room to install WoW. WoW's like 100 gigs plus. Don't buy PC, buy PS5/Pro, that best budget gaming in the market. It is, but some people need a device that primarily games, but could also do other things decently as well. It should be on Bazaar. Okay, so if I look it up, what is it? Proton. Wait. So okay, someone said Proton Plus, but then what else? What was that? Proton Up QT. Oh, I see both of them here. So which one do I get? A modern compatibility tools manager. Install Wine and Proton-based compatibility tools. I mean, do I get both or do I only get one of the two? Do we have to make a choice here or can we? Why not both? So basically, if you're a high-ender, then Linux is a must. Linux is future from the past and constant. We was blind. The version of Proton Steam created mainly is created to work with Steam Machine and Steam Deck. Okay. Proton Plus is good. Proton Up QT is a simple program. Proton Plus is easier to use. Okay. We're using Proton Plus then, or we're going to grab Proton Plus. Okay. Now what do I do? Do I just like enable it? Oh no, please wait. We got it. Was God of War the game where we had to do the Steam Deck compatibility thing last time? Is this all I gotta do to turn it on? You'll want to install latest from GE for GE and CatchOS. Just use Proton Up QT. Oh my god. I'm getting multiple recommendations now. Okay, I'm gonna close out of this. Okay. Though I feel like when you have to do things like this is where the not like beginner friendly stuff starts to come in. Like, you guys are telling me to grab this, which makes it quick and easy. But if someone wanted to go out and about and look for this, how long would it be until they would have come across a Reddit post or a YouTube video that told them to get one of these? And then what if they found a source that one told them to get Proton Up QT and the other told them to get Proton Plus? So then you start to have to do like a little bit more research when you don't have like someone holding your hand like you guys are doing for me. So, just an observation I'm making right now to the people who say Linux is super easy. Okay. Do I actually have to do... Why did this open twice? Okay, so, okay, what were you guys saying about G? You want to install the latest for GE? Okay, 32 GE. Yep, 32. Okay. So, install this. Proton Plus sometimes needs to populate for a minute. So, once I grab this, do I now need to go back into Steam and then set the compatibility to anything? Or does it just work? So, okay. So I have this, but it's unused. Okay, okay. Verified for Proton. Wait. God of War Ragnarok. It's okay. I'm guessing do this. Oh, I can go to... Oh, Proton DB Gold. Okay, sure. Alright. I'm assuming I did that right. Let's see if this works. Because we were getting that error before, I think. If error persists, okay. Do I gotta do that Steam Deck command? Oh, I have to restart Steam. Okay, good call, good call. We're gonna exit Steam. Can I close this? I'm just gonna minimize it. How big can we get the arrow before Steam loads up? There it is. Okay. You need to restart Steam. Linux isn't for me for the time being. Yeah. What the heck? I'm thinking I have to do that. Let me look at Proton DB again. Gold. Yeah, here it is. I gotta do this. That's why it's not working. Okay, now it should work perfectly. I have a new appreciation for Windows lol. Yeah, compatible GE. Okay, this warning always happens. It's fine. Okay, 1 second. Let me close this. Because I gotta go in and I gotta do the You said to do it in Steam or do it to the game. So compatibility, force compatibility, GE, Proton. Okay, I'll do it there, but I'll also do it on the Steam level just in case. Because I don't know, man. I feel like if I didn't do it and something went wrong, people would be like, oh, it's because you didn't do that. So, I'm just gonna do it everywhere. So we could save time. There it is. Okay. Now do I have to restart again? Oh, I do have to restart. Okay. It's fine. We will eventually be playing the game. The only AAA game I think that runs this well, actually. Let's see. Okay, we should be good. It is very worthwhile to point out to anyone thinking this is normal that this is not a normal thing on Steam. 99% of the time, you just click play and your game will run. I just happen to want to play the games that have the problems. It's not that hard once you get used to it. Yeah, I think you just have to get used to it. So we got the message. This only has 4 gigs. You know what? It's gonna run fine though. I have faith. Stop it, PlayStation Cloud. We're gonna get this to run 60 FPS without stutters, regardless of what we have to do with the graphic settings. And I don't know. Does Bazzite generally get better performance in games than Mint does? Because it is, Steam specific. I kind of have an idea of what we already have to do to get there. We are going to probably performance... We'll go performance low. And I forget, does this have frame generation? Where's the motion blur? Frame gen. We're just going to turn it on. Motion blur off. Off. Okay. I don't know why I think the menu struggles because during the shader compilation, like look at the GPU, it's already running at 100%. But once we get in game, it'll be fine. So we'll wait on this, but let me read chat. That's wild, such a new card. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of thinking is weird. I personally think it's more believable if a 40 series card, a 4000 series Nvidia card was #1. But yes, Bazzite gets more FPS than Mint. If you're on a 4 gig card, that may be your issue. I think God of War is gonna do actually pretty decent. It's not that Bazzite is special to Steam, it's that Bazzite is a version of Fedora Linux, and Fedora Linux stays pretty up to date with the stuff you need to run all this. Okay. I think the idea of Linux isn't intuitive comes from a place of a Windows-centric world. I know a metric tons of normal Windows users who have zero idea how to use Windows. That is a good point. Compatibility is a fair criticism, but it's just the way the market is right now. Tell me if sound comes back. I think sound is playing right now, isn't it? This 5070 is like the worst of the 50 series. Best bang for a buck is 5070 Ti. I don't know, man. 5070 Ti is kind of expensive now. The 5070 has, you could still find it kind of close to MSRP, whereas 5070 Ti, the prices have gone up. And it's kind of hard to tell someone who has $500 to spend on a graphics card to now go spend $800. If it was like maybe a $150 to $200 price difference, even then that's like a, you know, your whole product category off. And then for even AMD cards, it's kind of hard to find anything in the $500 market. So like anybody who's just like, I want to get the best I can brand new for 500 bucks, there's, or like 550, I guess, there's not many other options. Sorry if this is off topic. I was wondering, yes, new LAN video is coming out soon. Next week, I'm telling you guys this, that means I have to keep my promise. We're at 58% on shaders. But yeah, that is my goal. I am working on it all this week and all next week. So hopefully I can release it next weekend. The green, wow. Get far back enough and it disappears into the background. Wait, you have 30.9? It's 32 gigs. It's 32 gigs, not 30.9. What is the PC specs of the Bazzite PC? Xeon 2135 from 2017. RX 580 4GB from 2017. 32 gigs of RAM. I think that's the only important specs you need to know. With some ThinkStation motherboard, and I think the power supply is like 700 watts or something. It's actually pretty impressive. Do you still buy used GPUs nowadays, like in your videos? I do. I just haven't been doing used part pickup ride-alongs because we just had winter and it sucks. And it's cold and rainy and dark. But now that the weather's starting to get nicer, I'm probably going to start doing more pickup videos. I don't have any lined up right now, but there are always parts that I could pick up to have on hand. A big part of learning Linux is to not compare it to Windows. They're their own platforms. Valve is allowing Linux to try to accommodate Windows users with Proton. Oh, sweet. We're done. All right, let's go. Okay. I would love for you to open up settings in KDE Plasma. Do I have to install anything for that, or does Bazzite come with KDE Plasma? I still don't fully grasp the whole KDE and like all that stuff. I can open it up if it's already ready to go, but if I have to install and configure stuff, then we might have to save that for next week. And just remind me, come on, 30 FPS? You can do better than that. You can do better than that. VRAM is at 120%. Does it go below? No, low is the lowest. What else do we have room for to change? Ultra performance. I can't change resolution. Actually, can I go to... Yeah. So we're at like 328p. Oh, yeah, baby. First of all, this is way too much of a jump. I don't know. Wait, what? I just changed one thing. There's no way Ultra Performance did that. Let me go back to Performance. What is going on? Yeah, Performance should have gotten... No, there's something going on here. Going from Performance to Ultra Performance should not have shot the FPS from 30 up to 100 plus. what is going on? Unless it bumped it up enough to reach the threshold where frame generation kicks in better. But I don't know if that's the case. Let me play with this for a second. Something is going on here. Let me turn off frame gen first of all. Okay, we're on performance. Was frame gen messing... See, you guys saw that? Frame gen gave us worse performance. Because now on performance, yeah, I could probably go to balanced, actually. Oh, nope. I feel like the same thing is going on as was happening on... that was happening with Horizon. But look at this. We're at 88. Let me go fight some stuff just so that I can prove how good of an optimized game this is. And look at the graphics too. Like, compared to what we saw in Resident Evil and Horizon, this actually looks good on low. Like, I mean, sure, the textures on the rocks and stuff aren't the best, but it's not like a fuzzy mess. Like, I think this actually looks really good. We're at 77 FPS at low settings, FSR performance, and only 4 gigs of VRAM. Look at the... It says we're using 5.1 out of 4. But yeah, we're on... that's so interesting how... Let me go to... So, performance, look at the FPS. Even from the menu, 84. Going from performance to ultra performance, drops it to 27. Let me go to balanced, is at 15. Quality is at... We could play on quality. Give me this. Now it even looks a little better. You guys notice that? No, this looks really good. And we're at 80 FPS. Let me check just to make sure again. Let me go to medium settings. Dude, I'm telling you, God of War... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Medium just broke it. Okay, 5 FPS. Not ideal. Oh, God. It's lagging getting back to the menu. Okay, we were playing too close to the sun. We gotta go back. We gotta go back. Oh, my God. The menus are even at 5 FPS. Some things, you just shouldn't push your luck. We'll keep the quality. We'll go back to low. And it, boom, just like that, it fixes it. And it's smooth as heck. Look at that. Okay, let's go fight some stuff. Okay. That is VRAM. How is that VRAM issues, though? No. If you go from performance to ultra performance, and it gets worse, I don't think that's VRAM issues, because that should have only improved. So... Look at this. It's a pretty smooth 75 to 80. And this is like a very action dynamic scene. Lots of NPCs on the screen and stuff like that. So... Where's my axe at? Yeah, this is like, I mean, now it's like down to the high 60s to low 70s, depending on like what's on the screen at any given point in time and what direction I'm facing. But dude, you could play through the whole game at this settings. Like, you could enjoy this. It's actually enjoyable to watch. I mean, it like, okay, you guys do the pixel peeping, I do the killing and stuff. But is there anything that would have told you that this game was running at the lowest quality preset available? Honestly, if medium had worked out, I wouldn't be surprised if someone said, hey, this is actually medium settings. Like, I think this looks really good for being the lowest setting. Where's my spear at? There we go. Uh-oh. definitely a playable experience. It blows my mind how consoles only do 30 FPS and those players are happy, but on PC, 60 is not good enough. I mean, coming from, you know, growing up being super poor, not having good like PC specs and stuff, I think for the rest of my life, I would be content with 60 FPS. Now, obviously, I can afford to get better than 60 FPS, but if for whatever reason some magic genie said, you know what, you're bound to 60 FPS for the rest of your life, I don't think I would cry too much about it. Like, that is... And I don't play like competitive shooters and stuff like that, so for me, it doesn't make that, like, you know, being bound to 60 FPS isn't the end of the world. And it is infinitely better to play at 60 FPS than to not play a game at all. Like, to not play this versus playing this at what we're getting right now, yeah, this is infinitely better. Medium is what Ultra used to be. Alright, I want to see what the spear does when I do the special. Okay, so this is, see, I feel like if you are gaming on a budget, or if you're like a, what's it called, low spec gaming, you have to like try to seek out the games that are well optimized, because they can give you, like, especially games like this, right, where it's good gameplay, good graphics, and good story. Games like this can hold you over until you can afford the money to buy a better system to let you play other games that you otherwise could not play on lower graphics. Okay. I mean, look, and then, so there's the thing too that people say, when you have low VRAM, it might work fine just for now, but once you're playing for like, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, I mean, I do not think that as I keep playing this, the game will eventually start to stutter. Like, I think this is pretty consistent performance, and it's not going to degrade due to the low VRAM issues. And that's mainly because I think they optimized this game very well. Because we are spilling over into system memory, but it's handling it just fine. And you gotta consider that we are also on a DDR4 system. So, in my other video, testing the 3GB 1060, people told me that's not fair because you're on a DDR5 system. So, it's like taking advantage of the fact that it can use a system memory. This is a more realistic pairing of old hardware using DDR4, and it's handling it just fine. I just died, but no stutters on 4GB VRAM is actually a pretty big pull. Yeah, and you could do that when developers actually optimize their game. But yeah, so I mean, I can run around and you know, go to other areas just to show that, like, oh, as we load more textures in and you know, more geometry and stuff like that, the gameplay will still remain smooth. Oh wait, where was that area I was trying to get to? That was not it. Yeah, like, it's not degrading at all as we just keep on like running around and stuff. And I think every time we hit a loading screen, it actually helps us out. Like, it kind of flushes the VRAM. So yeah, I don't think it would be a problem playing this long, like, you know, long term. This isn't just like a misleading showcase of the capabilities. And of course, FPS is just gonna drop naturally depending on what the scene is. But where it matters, during the action and stuff, it stayed pretty high. Doom Eternal probably plays good too. Yeah, Doom Eternal, what year was that? I always confuse the release date of Doom versus Doom Eternal. Which one was like the 2017, 2018? Was Doom Eternal might have actually been like 2020. Now try, why would I try, oh, try Resident Evil again? Because with the new G32, good point. Okay, let me do that. Let me close out of this. Okay. This is the last thing we can do, and then I gotta end stream because it's bath night, as always. What the heck? It just had an update? What's going on? Oh, shader caching, okay. Resident Evil. Okay. What are we betting? What are we betting, y'all? Are we thinking the missing floors and walls is going to be fixed, or do we think we're just cooked? The 4 gigs isn't enough. Some games demand you use ray tracing that this graphics card may not be able to run, but in Linux, because of Vulkan, shaders will still run it. It's official. I'm impressed. Technically, the game is optimized for PS4. This seems to significantly help the lower-end GPUs. But then, like, Monster Hunter, for example, was that optimized for consoles before it was for PC? I guess, what other games is similar to that? Let me go to the options again, just so we are on borderless. Let me see. Whoops, 720p. I'll go back down to lowest. Look, VRAM usage is below. You see this bar right here? It turned green. So we shouldn't have any missing floors, right? Upscaling, yep. Ultra performance, frame gen, and we will mess with it once we're in game. But we will see. Yeah, the frame pacing definitely, but I need to set up the overlays to actually show those, like the 1% lows, as well as show a better graph of the running. Oh boy. Oh no, it's still missing. No, I had faith for a second. Dude, we're running at 200 FPS. We were not running that high earlier, so the GE 32 or whatever, 200 FPS. But let's see, maybe other sections in here won't be missing floors and stuff. Come on. Oh no, same thing, guys. Oh, that sucks. We were so close. Look, dude, this is running smooth though, I have to say. Here's what I need to do. Maybe it's because we're in the city environment. It might just be this intro section of the game, because it's like located with all these buildings and stuff. It has way more to load in. Might be the problem. So I will play through this on my own time, and we will check it out next week where I'm further into the game. This might not be problematic for like the majority of the game. I have a little bit of faith left that this game might be doable past this intro, or this like beginning area. What am I doing here? Nope. Hey, that's a locked door. But yeah, otherwise it's this is a no-go. It's just a feature in the game, so you're not scared. Have you changed the Proton? Yes, I did change the Proton version. You really can't blame Linux for hardware slash... Yes, that is true. I'm not blaming what's happening in Resident Evil at all to Linux. I am fully aware that a 4GB graphics card is not the ideal solution for this. But someone said dark and darker. Well, I can't even do that right now because I got to format apparently my drive to even proper. Let me try this one more time. Manage disk drives and media. Come on. Nope, it is not detected at all. So yeah, I need to get the 1 terabyte drive in here so we can install other games. But I mean, this was interesting to learn about. GE Proton. I'm guessing I should be able to just close this just fine. But alright, let's hang out for the next like 5 or so minutes before I wrap up the stream. Let me move the camera back. Try Expedition 33. Okay. If I'm gonna try a UE5 game, well, Arc Raiders is UE5. And Arc Raiders actually runs decent on this system. Claire, Expedition 33, that game, I would say, is not a well-optimized game. It does not run well on old hardware. I have tested it. It runs, but at the lowest settings, you're only getting like 30 FPS. Yeah. It is a slop, but it's a small studio, right? So can you blame them? No, when older BIOS caused the game to crash, I purchased NASCAR 25 when it came out. It keeps crashing. It says UE Maverick game has crashed fatal error. Older BIOS, like a motherboard BIOS, or are you talking about like a V BIOS for a graphics card? Either way, no, I wouldn't think a V BIOS that works for pretty much every other game and your motherboard BIOS that probably worked for every other game you work that, you know, without problems. It's crashing saying UE Maverick game. I've never seen that error message before. UE Maverick game. Anyone know anything about that? Works fine in your other rig. Yeah, that I'm not sure. But I didn't change I did change it, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh. Did I have to do it in here specifically? You're right. No, not this. That's not it. What is it? QT? Did I change it in Steam? Let me see. Properties. Your, compatibility. Oh, snaps. You are correct. So I did change it on the Steam level. And did I have to change it in here? Oh, my God. Sorry guys, I was going way too fast. Okay, this will be the last thing we check. Let me close Steam again, just in case changing it there needs to exit Steam. You are right, good call. Good call. I don't think that's going to fix the issue, but I would love to be pleasantly wrong. Because if we're running at 200 FPS, we do have some room to try to get the graphics to be better and still squeeze out 60 FPS. Alright. Let me double check just to make sure so there's no questioning it. Okay. You are absolutely right. Googling that seems to be a known issue with that specific NASCAR game. Yeah, but what's the fix to it? Open the settings menu, and I just want you to look at the... Oh, you're talking about open the menu settings. Let me do this real quick, just because we just need to see if the thing's missing, and then I will do that as well. There's not enough time in the day. Still gonna be no walls, but 488 FPS. Yeah. Well, we were getting a crap ton standing outside. Come on! You know computers just be weird like this sometimes. Nope, you're right. You were right. Oh, we actually are standing outside. We were getting like 200 earlier. It's actually lower now. But I would take lower if the walls loaded in, but it didn't. But I mean, now it popped back up when we're inside. So It's kind of hard without doing it side by side to see if it actually got worse or better. But nope, that didn't work. Okay, what are we doing? KDE something something. What am I opening? Birdcage. What are we opening? You said settings menu. Open the settings menu. So just settings. Which settings? There's system settings. KDebug settings. Just open the menu. I want you to look at the layout for menu options. Like, so what do you, I mean, you gotta like this install main menu. Like, I don't know what you mean when you say open the menu. We're not talking about the menu in Resident Evil, right? We're talking about the menu in Bazzite. I'm guessing, like, you guys, you have to understand. You have to be pretty precise with what you're telling me. Open system settings. There we go. See? System settings. So I will open up system settings. Yep. Okay. You mean you want me to look at just this right here or something specific in here? Appearance and style. KDE wallet. Probably not that. It's the same. And it's the same analog to what Windows settings on Windows 11 is. Yeah, but okay. And then what? You want me to just look around here? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, there's all the different mouse settings, game controller, multimedia. You got your sound, your Bluetooth, which this does not have. Is any printers found on the network? Remote desktop. I can change the wallpaper, I guess. Okay. I was trying to find screensaver before, and I could not find it by the search. So is screensaver not a thing in Linux, or is it called something else? Like, I tried typing in screensaver, and nothing came up. It looks like it's called screen locking, but in the screen locking, there's no, like, movable screen, you know what I'm saying? It looks like it locks the screen, or you could, I guess, look at the power management to turn off your monitor, but is there no equivalent of Windows screensaver? Just look around and get used to it. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. General behavior of the workspace plasma. Okay. Is this where you configure? Nope. Okay, that's similar. Cause how do you get to your other workspaces? No screensavers. Linux would automatically log you out and blank the screen after a time. Beyond that, I don't think so. Okay. What's up, Courage? The answer just is all Windows. No screensaver to me just feels weird. Actually, okay, so I'll take a look more at this. We're almost 3 hours in the stream. But I'm curious, now that the topic has came up, do you guys use a screensaver on the Windows side of things for your computer? Or do you just have no screensaver and just do, you know, either blank screen or monitor off after a certain amount of time? Linux is about optimization, no screensaver. Damelin says no. Other screensavers are an app that you put up in the panel. Other workspace is actually a widget. Oh, okay. No screensavers. I haven't used a screensaver since. Dude, am I like an old head? For I use screensavers. I don't even know why. I mean, because you could just have the monitor turn off after a certain time, or just be blank, all, you know, nothing. But I don't know why. I kind of like, if my computer has been sitting a while and my computer's just sitting like in the corner and I'm not using it, I like having something moving on my screen, so I know that my computer is like still on and there and like ready to, you know, jump into action as soon as I move the mouse. I don't know. Like, I don't know if we are moving towards a world where we just don't need screensavers anymore, but I always still activate mine. Monitor off when I'm not at the computer. Monitor off after 30. So I set a monitor off timer. What is mine set to? Monitor display setting. Let me see what. So I do set mine to a timer. Actually, display settings. Where? Jeez, even finding it in Windows 11 now is annoying. So I set my screensaver for 5 minutes, and then for my power settings, I shut my monitor off after 15 minutes. So yeah, I don't know why. That's just something that I do. I don't think it makes sense now that I'm thinking about it, but I still like having the thing like 10 minutes of swirly, you know, mystify on my screen. I don't turn my monitors off. They go on standby, you know, if you shut your computer off, or if you have the settings to turn them off, or like to go to standby, right? Because they don't ever go turn off, because you gotta press the button to do that. But yeah, I'm 51. I use Windows 11, and I love Wallpaper Engine. So that's another thing. I like screensavers. I don't have Wallpaper Engine, and I don't plan on ever buying it. Windows Maze, yeah. Which, was it Faceballs? I always, wait, Faceball game. Is that the game? I think that was also always in the maze, right? Yeah, the maze was cool, but I always, for some reason, associated the Windows Maze to the game Faceball, which I don't know who here might have remembered this game back in the day. But that game, you were also going through like a maze type scenario. So my entire life, for some reason, I was always expecting going through the maze to find some face balls. But yeah. Yeah, Space Cadet Pinball is another one. Though that one is a little bit not as old school as Faceball. Millennial pacifier right there. I wish I could find the old Windows 95 fireworks screensaver. I don't even remember what that looks like, because Windows 95 was when I started using a computer, but obviously I had no idea what I was doing at the time. What was that? Classic screensavers. I remember this flower box. We used to use this in our computers a lot growing up. I remember that one. I remember that one. Here's the maze. Yep, of course. The 3D pipes also, that made its rounds on our computer, or our home computer. 3D text as well. Which one is this called? Oh, Beziers. I use the modern day Windows Mystify, but this one was not as cool as the one nowadays. Oh, the stars. The Stardust. I remember, yeah. Wow. Flying windows as well. I haven't looked at some of these for so long. This is a nostalgia trip. But wait. Where's the fireworks that you're talking about? Jezzball was also a fun game. Jezzball, Ski Free, Rodent Revenge. Can we find the fireworks? This one right here? I don't think that's it. Is there an image of it? I'm not seeing anything specifically about Windows 95 fireworks screensaver. And I do not remember it, so. But alright. Nostalgia trip over. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a video this weekend. If it is, it might be the pre-LAN video, and then there'll be a week in between that and the main LAN, or I might just wait till next Wednesday to do the pre-LAN. But the plan is to get the LAN party video out next weekend, which I'm going to probably have to kill myself to get done because it's so much work. But yeah, we still, you know, stream same time, same day, as always next week. And during that stream, hopefully I have the 1 terabyte drive in ready to go, We can try the games, or we can try installing a different version of. I would rather stick on Bazzite for now and do more things. So I just need suggestions on what to do, because for the most part, unless you're seeking things to do in Linux, like the Bazzite is working as I would normally, except for like not supporting Adobe and stuff, but like for a browsing machine, for a machine to game, to consume media, it's working as intended. So I don't know what else I would want out of it as a typical user. More build videos? I feel like right now is the worst time to do build videos because everything is so unaffordable. If you're building a PC, install Atlas instead of Windows. It's free and acts the same as Windows. What is... Wait. Optimize Windows. Wait, is Atlas actually free? I think I've heard of Atlas before. I've never used it. Is it basically like 99.9999% compatible with all the programs as Windows is? Or... Yeah, I feel like I haven't digested the OS for sure. But I'm trying to figure out like what else is there to dig deeper into. I could do, what's that command? RF and delete everything. I think that would be fun to do on one of these streams. Maybe we'll do that with the Mint install. Just nuke it and see what happens real time. But spend time learning the KDE environment. Try different settings and features, widgets and such. Try to find apps for creation on Bazzite. Yeah, I think that for me that... Oh, we can install OBS and try to run a stream. We can run a parallel stream. I could put a web... Okay, that's what we can try to do. Let me put that into the thing. We will try next week to install... next week. Try to install content creator soft. Like video editing, photo editing, and OBS and run a stream. Maybe. Because that would be my real world use cases of it. So... Linux 3D print station. I feel like most of the 3D printers I would be interested in, I would just run it straight off of the printer itself and not have a PC hooked up to it. Wait, I am a little bit interested in the Atlas OS though. I probably won't look at this for a while, but let me see. Atlas OS, open source, designed to optimize existing Windows 10 or 11 installations. So Atlas OS is free. What happens when you install it onto a cracked, not a cracked, but like a unactivated version of Windows? Optimize existing Windows 10 and 11 installations. So you already have to have it. Okay, never mind. I was thinking Atlas OS was a different thing. See, when you read it, Atlas OS is a modifications to Windows 10 that makes it lighter. Okay. The thing I saw earlier made it seem like it was its own OS, like mimicking Windows. Make the PC print itself. Do not do the nuke command, please. That can mess up so many people who are not familiar. No, so I'm only gonna do the nuke command like to show what it does, but I don't think I would influence people to do it on their own systems. Like anyone who does that after I tell them not to do it and show an example of it, that's on them, I feel. But I think Tech Quickie, or no, some video was released recently about the history of Unix. It might have been the Veritasium one or something. But I saw it come up somewhere, and I think people were trolling me in previous streams to tell me to do it as well. So I think doing it, if anything, would scare people away from never trying it. But alright, it is 2 hours and 55 minutes in the stream. I actually have to get going now. Thanks for the fun stream, everyone. I will see you in the Discord server as always, as well as next week. And then probably a YouTube Shorts releasing at the end of this week or something. But you guys have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend coming up. And yeah, I'll catch you in any of the other methods where you can catch me. Bye-bye. Have a good night, everyone.